All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm calling this meeting to order at 4:31. And the first call of business is the Pledge of Allegiance, so stand if you are able. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposite? Nothing? Passes. Okay, so now we're doing something very special because we're recognizing the wonderful work that Susan Odgers has done for the library for the past several years. And Susan, I have a proclamation for you, so I'm going to stand it and read it. The Traverse Area District Library Resolution of Appreciation for Susan Odgers. Whereas Susan Odgers began serving as library trustee in January 2019, and whereas during her tenure, she capably demonstrated her concern for the well-being of the library and the community it serves, and whereas her resignation as of trustee is acknowledged in January of 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Traverse Area District Library does hereby recognize Susan Odgers' years of dedicated service to the library and for her meticulous note-taking. Be it further resolved that the board encourages her involvement with the library to continue as a citizen, and finally, be it resolved that the original of this document be conveyed to her with the board's sincerest thanks and appreciations, adopted by the board on April 16th, 2026. So, Susan, congratulations. And I know you want to say something, so if you want to come up over here, or do you have a microphone? Oh, cool.
Mary Lee, thank you.
Yeah, oh, you're welcome.
Really appreciate that and look forward to taking that home. I wanted, just for those that are watching at home, as well as folks here, to do an audio description. In my world, that's pretty common for folks that are sight impaired. So I'm a white woman sitting in a wheelchair in a black dress with a purple scarf and a tan, I call it my Putin hat, but it's a shearling. Is it winter? Is it spring? What is it kind of hat? And long auburn hair in a ponytail. And I use the pronouns she, her, hers. The reason I retired from the library board early, my time was up at the end of this year, is because I had one of the best dads in the whole world. And after my husband, he was my person. And he passed away recently. And everybody lives downstate. I'm the oldest of 5 siblings. And chaos has ensued. So my extended family has really needed me to do more within our family. So that's why I needed to end early and really appreciate the graciousness of the board and the library. I have a mic and I have a few things I want to make sure that I say. And the first thing is I just want to encourage all the members of the community to consider applying for the board. We have an open seat and 1 or 2, and it's really important that folks from all over our community participate. Join the Friends. There's so many ways for you to be involved in the library, and talk to our director, Michelle, about other volunteer opportunities. And I recently became a member of the Grand Traverse Community Foundation, and I'm learning a lot more about philanthropy in our community in particular. So if you're working on your estate plans, consider putting the library in that plan and making donations to the library. I can't really think of many things where you will know that your legacy will go on in such an incredible way. I want to thank all the trustees that I've served with, Michelle, the staff, the community, and our viewers at home. during my 6+ years of service, these are just a few highlights. I thought of Michelle writing the newsletter, like how do you categorize all the things that go on and all the things the library accomplishes? But in little over 6 years, we hired a new director. We responded to COVID, which could be the snow cart just all by itself. We put forth a strategic plan. We passed a big millage. We responded to the efforts to ban books. We hosted the State Michigan Library Conference. We got a bookmobile. We dealt with security issues. We partnered with lots of other organizations in the community. And we won all kinds of awards, including the work that Anita does in the Larry Gordon Talking Book Library, which was the 2024 Library of the Year. We also, I believe, made the library more ADA accessible, and we have all kinds of goals in that regard. In the resolution Mary Lee read, she mentioned about me continuing being involved with the library. I was really involved with the library before I was on the board, during, and that'll just continue. In the future for the library, we'll be building our relationships with our member libraries. We'll have a new roof. We'll increase literacy in our community. We will find a way to make the best of AI and be a digital literacy center. We've got very cool things going on in our makerspace work. And we will continue to have dynamic programming for all ages and interests. I thought of the other day we brought some items back and I was in our vehicle and it was raining and I saw a little boy, probably first grade, who had so many books that he had checked out and he had shoved them up under his coat and he was jostling and trying to keep them straight, and his mother said, "Hurry up, we got to get in the car." And he said, "I cannot let these books get wet. I just can't." And then I saw 2 teenagers coming into the library to study. And then I saw 3 seniors run into each other right inside the vestibule. And that just warms my heart. I think it's exactly what the library is, as a community intelligence center and so much more. Ray Oldenburg in 1989, I wondered where this came from, talked about a third place in a community. So our first place is our home, and our second is our work or school. And then he believes the library is the third place, is the hub in the community. And Thomas Fry, I wanted to quote, another person that is looking at the future of libraries. Libraries are not just buildings that have books. They're institutional connections they're institutions that connect people with knowledge, tools, and the community they need to thrive. And I think here in Traverse City and all of our members, we're in really good shape. So it was my honor to serve, and I thank you very much for today. Thank you.
So we're just going to take a little bit of a break to have some treats, and then in about 10 minutes, we'll get back to the board meeting. So if anybody would like to come over and eat some cake and whatever the other, and then we have a plaque for you
Brownies,
there.
yeah, brownies and cake pops.
Oh, brownies and cake pops. So a 10-minute break to put some sugar in your mouth. Then one board members approach the podium and make some comments. Okay. About you, Susan, so you can't leave.
You could just be awkward.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Boyteen, a member of the TADL board. And I know that Susan is leaving before the end of the meeting, and just wanted her to hear from me how deeply grateful I am for your service on the board and the impact you've made to the community. you have a really visible role in our community, you know, with your column and with the comments that you make here and in all the other public spaces where you serve. It's really clear that you listen to what people in the community are saying, to people in your community are saying, and bring that forward and take up space in all of the spaces where you use your voice. So that's something that everybody knows who's been watching our meetings over the years. And that takes an incredible amount of intellectual and emotional and heart energy to do. And I just also want to reflect that as a board member coming onto this board, as a new person, you took that kind of care directly with me. You took time to listen, to help me understand how the library works, to support me when I might have made comments that I felt like, oh, should I have said that or not? As we all do, because it's vulnerable to get up in front of people and speak your mind and to take up space. And so who you are and how you show up in the world has been such an example of that. And I understand why you need to take time away from the board, because it's such an incredible investment that you've given to all of us, and nobody knows the time and the effort and the energy it's taken. So just a huge heartfelt thank you to you, to your family, for all the support that you've had to show up the way that you've shown up, and we just wish you the best and hope to see you, know that we will see you in the future. Thanks, Susan. Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, moving on. Next is the consent agenda, and I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda unless anybody wants to take anything off the consent agenda.
No, I was waving at Susan.
Okay, all right.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as stated.
Okay,
Second?
thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, and the motion carries. Next is the director's report. Michelle?
So I didn't think there was anything too outstanding in the director's report, but I did want to share with you that in the past week or so, I've been meeting with city commissioners and, you know, just really listening to people, and it feels like the whole RFP with the Carnegie Building is really like tearing people apart. Kind of like people are like, oh, it's like picking your two best friends or whatever. And so I proposed an idea to Laura Ness, who forwarded it to Ben, Mayor, and Ted with the idea of sharing this space. And I had a proposal that I put forward that first off so it'll still be at Monday's meeting. And I haven't seen the city's agenda yet, but to refer it to an ad hoc committee so that all the parties could sit down and talk, because you can't talk at a public meeting. And an RFP process also, you know, it's pretty strict about what you can and can't do. So Benjamin thought it was a good idea. I've checked in with several other commissioners. They all agreed that they thought it would be a good idea to send it to ad hoc so that everyone can sit down and talk. And what I was proposing is that the library would care for the Con Foster collection in its space, so which was not part of the RFP process, and that the city would pay us to take care of it as stewards of it, because we have the experts in it. And then as that space is cleaned out, we would move our local history stuff over there. So we have an idea that we could even start this summer with our local history interns that the Grand Traverse Historical Society pays for, and get interns in there and volunteers and just start working on it and properly preserving the items in there that really belong to all of us. And some of them are in cardboard boxes. And so that was the first thing I proposed. The second thing was to ask for with the idea of being a shared space, the smaller exhibit, the smaller exhibit areas on the side. So there's the rotunda in the Carnegie, and there's the two side rooms. And to have that be a library permanent exhibit. And I'm playing phone tag with the education manager from the tribe to, have always an exhibit for the tribe, and then local history stuff. And then we were asking for like the whole exhibit area, so the 2 exhibit areas and the rotunda in September or October to have fourth graders come visit and fill out the space with local history, and then have people there to talk to the fourth graders, so would be educational event. And I think that was it, just 3 things. And just the idea that we could work together, because that makes more sense, right?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So, I proposed it to Benjamin. The last I'd heard, he proposed it to Crooked Tree, who declined, to talk. But that could change. So hopefully, maybe that something will happen, and by the Monday's meeting, they'll be willing to talk, because it's a big building, and I think there's plenty of room for everybody. And we could just work together. So that's where it stands, and we'll see it. We would end up making money on the deal. It wouldn't cost us anything because they would be paying us to take care of the collection. And then I'm using those words, share and care, or care and share. So we would care for it and share it, because that's the biggest thing. It's been in the basement of the Carnegie Building for 15 years, and nobody's has seen what's been down in there. So it'd be really cool to partner with the city, and that's what I'm seeing it as, like a partnership with the city to make that available. And then maybe some things like our ideas for a genealogy space or something like that might have to wait, or maybe it frees up space here, but at least I think it could be a step in the right direction. So we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to let you guys know and get any input you might have.
I think you said that the space that you're talking about in the first point is not part of the RFP, right? So that's not going to anybody, no matter what happens throughout the process.
Right,
So
and
it's kind of a
that's,
separate,
yeah, and that's what I
item.
was saying, is like, well, nobody was able to bid on that space, because that's where the Con Foster collection is, and that's where we could just come in and work. And so the city would contract with us to take care of that collection in that space. And I think once it's organized, it would probably it's a big area, we could free up enough space to move our collection over there, if that's what we wanted to do. So, yeah, so hopefully, so the biggest thing is like the city could just give us that space, or they could, we could all try to work it out. It would just be really nice to have some display space there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Crooked Tree changes their mind, but, trying to work together, trying to all play nice, and I think art and history go great together.
So my question to you on that is, what does that space look like right now? Is it in the basement?
Where the collection is,
Yes, where the collection is. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, you both went and saw it.
you
We
didn't
didn't
see the
get to see
collection.
it.
No,
No.
we couldn't see it, but we went back, we did get, me and Amy, and Robin did get to go into the collection.
So in the basement, there's that part for art workshops, and it's over on the other side?
There's a door there.
Are there windows in the basement? So what does it look like in there? I just think about spiders and dirt.
No, yeah, no, so, I don't know the date, but a group of, community members, I think it was after we moved out, but before the Historical Society moved in, a group of, community members led by Peg Younghoff raised $1.4 million. And what they did is they renovated the rotunda, because there used to be two floors in there.
Correct.
And they provided climate control. That whole space on the basement is all climate controlled for archives.
Oh.
With the idea that the stuff would go there, because it was around the time that the Con Foster Museum was closing, the zoo was closing, and so it all went in there, and it's all been in this climate controlled space. So it's not spidery or,
Okay.
But you're picturing it as more of a storage organizational space, not where people would come down and explore. Okay.
yeah, the shelves are just like metal things that you would have in your garage. And it's literally like boxes. It kind of looks like someone just moved out. And there's a lot of textiles in there. There's journals. There's photographs.
Whoa.
There's a lot of stuff in there that could keep us busy for a while.
Is there an inventory of what is in there?
There is, but no one has compared it to what's in there now. So there's been various rumors that things were stolen, that, like when the move happened, people were just grabbing things that they liked. So we don't know how accurate the inventory is. I know there's a safe that has some really old pistols in it,
Oh. Okay.
but I haven't been in the safe.
I wonder, so Monday is a meeting
Yeah.
for the city commission to
Yeah.
review the RFPs. I just wonder if we could generate some, I'd certainly be glad to go and try and support that concept, because I know other people have
Right.
stepped up to the rostrum and asked for the same thing.
Yeah, right.
So I think I would ask anybody out there, anybody in here, to Monday's meeting is at 6 o'clock, I think.
Oh, is it early? It's usually at 7.
Is it? Well,
City commission.
we should find out the right time, but then go and make public comment, because it's, I think Crooked Tree maybe needs some motivation, so
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, thanks. Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Okay, great.
I was gonna say, I was at my daughter's art display
Oh, yeah.
they had over there, and they were certainly encouraging people to make public comment and speak to their commissioners, so probably wouldn't hurt to be a little more visible on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, like, that's what the commissioners I met with said is we get 100 for Crooked Tree and we get 100 for the library. You know, like, they're both well-loved institutions and none of them want to have to pick. And so that's why I was like, well, why do you? Like, don't pick. Give us both. And so an RFP process is a awkward tool for that.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Can I ask Michelle
Yeah.
just a little bit more about what we can expect in terms of process? So there's the Monday city council or city commission meeting, and if the commission is the commission expected to decide on either of those proposals if there isn't this committee that's formed, this ad hoc that's formed?
I don't know if ad hoc, so I think the city manager is recommending ad hoc.
Got it.
But I guess if Crooked Tree doesn't, I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if they'll delay the decision. I think Benjamin said he's talking about extending the lease of Crooked Tree to give more time. And I was like, yeah, of course, because they could just say, oh yeah, library, we want a partner, and you can come and work on the, we could be in the Carnegie space without anything in place.
Okay.
Or in the Con Foster collection.
And I think also that the, neither RFP addresses what was required in terms of the $95,000 plus incremental over the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be tough for them to make a decision when the actual goal of what the RFP was stated isn't being met by either of the people or organizations that have replied. So I think regardless, I'd be surprised if on Monday they made a decision.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
I could be wrong.
Okay, so that's helpful for us to think about too, because when we're going through the RFP process, we're thinking, okay, then the next step is then we're gonna have something to evaluate. Now what I'm hearing is at this meeting, if a collaborative table is created, then really the RFP process is thrown by the wayside and we're charting a new path.
Yeah, because they
Got it.
adjusted the rubric, and I think now we're even. So we
Oh,
have
I
the
didn't hear
same
that.
score.
Oh, I was gonna ask that question.
Yeah, so. I know, anyways, it's a clumsy process right now, but I think something good's gonna happen out of it. We're gonna keep trying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, can I add one more thing? 2 more things.
Of course.
Just wanted to thank our patron. One of our patrons came in. Today is Librarians Day, even though next week is National Library Week. Today is Librarians Day, and one of our generous patrons brought in some gift cards for the librarians, people who have their master's degree, to Big B Coffee. So it's really nice to hand those out. So Bonnie gave those. She's really great and volunteers around the library, and she always does nice things. So there's that. And then I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the Cunningham Limb agreement now, or do you want to?
Either way,
Okay.
right now, we're on a roll, let's keep going.
Let's go. Okay, so last meeting we talked about doing an RFP for a construction manager, but we were referred to Cunningham Limp and met with them. And to contract with their services is $5,500, which is under my spending limit and under the limit that's needed for an RFP. So signed a contract with them to look at all of our projects, and then they will give us prices to do the project. So then we could say yes or no for them to do it. We checked references. They have a stellar reputation in town. They're doing the Project Alpha. And with the county, they've just done buildings everywhere, and they were really excited to work with us. They love the library, and so that was signed. So it'll take them 90 to 120 days to get us a plan, or their proposal of how we could do stuff, and how they can save us money and work on synergies of different things being done at the same time and how we do it all. And so that will be either mid-July or to August. So just for you to, for expectations. So a lot of our projects we've been working on are a little bit on hold. So we were working on our solar RFP and the roof RFP, and they can help us with all of that. And so that's why we're just kind of waiting on those. So just wanted to keep you posted.
I think
that was it.
one of the things that Seth Johnson, who came and visited us, made the very clear point, or very useful point, that we shouldn't be asking the librarians to be project managers.
Right.
And that's really where it was headed. And we kind of rolled along with Library Design Associates to develop the plan for carpeting and additional updates. But again, all of that takes a fair amount of time, and we don't have the industry knowledge or access. So I think it's a really good idea. I don't know if it's Heather's idea, I think you mentioned.
Heather,
but-
she's here. No,
Yeah,
she's not.
but,
Well, she had worked with them when she was on the beta board, and they had done the new beta building. They have a whole list of buildings, and it was
And
a
just to be
great-
clear, they're not quoting to do the jobs themselves, they're gathering quotes, so it's still very much open book, and we're seeing comparison numbers, and it's not like we're getting a quote for Cunningham Limp to do these 10 projects, just in
No.
case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the nice part is they have on staff a structural engineer, environmental engineer, an electrician, and so they'll be able to help craft the RFP, so we get apples to apples, and then they can help us compare the RFPs to make sure we have apples to apples. So after, I think it was Trustee Mike Vickery said something like, kind of like it's our duty to have someone check, especially with the roof, what happened when it was first put on, so I think this is a good move.
Okay,
Great.
Yeah, that's my updates.
all right, thank you. Okay, yeah. Sam has to leave.
Beg your pardon.
It's
yeah.
okay. Okay, new, whoops, sorry.
We're gonna have to vote on it.
Oh, good. I think so, yeah, because there's 2 officers and 2, we're the majority right now.
Yeah, we've had one.
Services, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so next is old business, and you want to talk about it?
Yes,
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion
Okay,
that the library director be authorized to sign a 3-year contract with Universal Cleaning Services for the TADL Main Library, East Bay Branch Library, and the Kingsley Branch Library.
okay.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Marika. Any discussion, questions? Michelle, anything you want to add before we vote?
No, but we have representatives
Oh,
from
cool.
Oh, Universal here, if you had
Janitor
questions for
people.
them. Jean and John.
Thank you for being here. We
Yeah, thanks
appreciate
for
it.
being here. Oh, cool.
We have brownies.
And they're safe brownies, so.
Yes.
You're welcome. All right, seeing there's no questions or discussion, let's do the vote, and this is a roll call vote.
Okay, starting with Veer,
Yes.
Whiting,
Yes.
Keiser,
Yes,
Dale.
Yes.
okay, motion carries. Yippee, you got it. You can take lots of brownies with you. Okay, we have no new business, correct? Nope. All right. This is a time for public comments, so if anybody would like to address the board, please come to the podium and state your name, and you can say whatever you want to say. Seeing nobody run to the podium, we'll just move on. Okay, trustee comments. Does any trustee would like to make a comment?
I guess I would just mention, you probably attended it too, now it's been quite a while, but the penal fines, there was a chance that we would lose our penal fines, but having attended the MLA meeting on that, that's likely not to happen anytime this
Oh.
year or until after the election, because it's got to get through a committee, and that just isn't going to happen. So that's a fair amount of money that we at least can depend on this year. Yeah, that was it.
Thanks, that's good. How much money do we get from that?
I think it's about $160,000,
$160,000?
I think, something like that. It goes up and down.
All right, so go public, make mistakes. No,
I call it, what do I call it? Speeding for reading. I'm not saying we should get it on a t-shirt, but if you do speed and you get a ticket, that penal fine does come to the library, so.
Oh my goodness.
Axe attacks, yes, yes.
Okay, seeing nothing else on the agenda, I'm gonna close the agenda. I'm gonna call the meeting to a close at 5:10. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and please take some brownies with you because some of us will eat all of them.
We'll go to the staff lounge too, if you, whatever, you don't, you know,
All
once
right.
they go into staff lounge, they like disappear, so.
All right.